Good morning, it's February 28th, 2019. I got tortured, tossed and turned all night. I felt like they were heating up my body. It feels as if I have a temperature, I'm sweating all over. Feels as if my skin is burning. And they did it last night because they wanted to torture me and they wanted me to put me into a position where there's nothing I could do about it. So here I am documenting the harassment. It's about 8 o'clock. I want to talk to you about a couple of things. First of which is my harassment last night. Seemed to try and corner me when I'm by myself, especially in the middle of the night, in an effort to make me feel helpless. And then they go at it unending for hours on end, to a point where it makes it impossible. It's a Thursday, it's 8 o'clock, and I'm shot and I feel sick. So it puts a serious crimp on the amount of things I can get done today. And when I get harassed and there's nowhere else to turn, I document it and I make videotapes. So I'm making this one. I want to talk to you about a couple of things today. I want to talk to you about microwave burns, gangstalking, and disinformation. First of all, microwave burns, generally they appear on your skin like a red lesion, very red area. It's separated from the rest of your skin, and it almost looks as if you're being hit by something in a certain area. Now, I've gotten the microwave burns on my rear end. Most of the time I'm sitting on my rear end. So there's no possible way that somebody could be shooting me from the apartment next door, out in the street, or from a different location and hitting me on an area which I'm sitting. It just doesn't make any sense. What makes more sense is they have control of your brain. They're tricking your brain into thinking it needs to be heated in that particular area. And that's why it gets red in that certain area. So they're actually turning your brain against you and causing the redness in that particular area. It's not a microwave potato gun from the guy next door pointing something through the wall at you and hitting you in a certain area. It's as simple as the fact that they have control of your brain. They can apply energy to it and make your brain think that your body needs to be heated in that particular area, and it makes it nice and red. It looks like a cherry. It hurts a lot, and my advice for you is, if it happens to you, take pictures of it, document it, and don't blame your neighbor next door, because he didn't do it. And you blame him for something that he didn't do, he's just gonna make him mad. And you're gonna have an escalating conflict in your apartment building. So be at peace with the fact that it's them. You can document when they do it, take pictures of it, and go from there. The next thing I want to talk about is gangstalking. Gangstalking is a perpetuated falsehood in your mind. They have the ability to mimic voices and make it sound like other people are talking to you when they're not. They use this to create conflicts with your neighbors and with your work colleagues, your friends, your family, anything they can. They mimic the voices until you insult you with those voices, until you blame the person you think is generating those voices for the harassment. Now, I had to move out of 2 apartment buildings because of this, because of perceived conflicts that I had with my neighbors. Now, I could have done one of two things. Not fought back and ignored it, and got away with it. Or, well, one of three things. Got into it with the neighbors and had to move because of an uncomfortable situation. Or I could have knocked on their door and I could have communicated with them and I could have asked them what was going on. I thought I heard this. Did you say that? They would have said no. And I would have said, I must have been hearing things. I'm sorry to bother you. And it would have been resolved. But no, we got into it and I had to move twice. So after 18 years of experience with this harassment, I can now go back and blame the incidents that I had on myself. It was my fault for being ignorant, not knowing that they could have done this. And I got duped, and I had to move twice. And it made me look like an idiot. But since I've caught on to this, I have no more gang stalking whatsoever. None. Zero. Zip. They disabled me instead. And they're holding me hostage with pain and doing weird things like heating my body in the middle of the night. See what I'll do. They're trying to keep me on edge and keep pushing me until I make some sort of mistake. The problem I have is I'm disabled and there aren't many mistakes I can make. So their harassment has just gone to horrendous levels of pain and suffering. That's why I have a lot of videotapes documenting the medical discrepancies, which are really, really just sick. So the thing you need to walk away with is the fact that gang stalking is not real. It's made up in your mind. And the websites and people that are out there that swear up and down that gang stalking is real and exists are either unwittingly passing along bad information, or they are working for the people that are harassing you. There is a web of disinformation that exists on the internet that is designed to keep you confused and feeling helpless, but at the same time feeling as if you found some sort of solace because you're able to connect with some of the things that are listed in there. But they intimidate you with these scary conspiracies. The thing you need to remember most is that gang stalking is completely made up in your mind. And the people that are pushing gang stalking are either dumb and unwittingly passing along disinformation, or they're working for the people that harass you. In your search on the internet for electronic harassment, just keep in mind, gang stalking is not real. So those sites that you see that swear up and down that gang stalking is a real thing and that you're a victim of gang stalking and they're out to get you, they're pushing along disinformation and they're trying to scare you. And that's not the type of website you need to really be reading as far as support is concerned. The other thing you need to look out for are the whistleblowers. The people that are out there that are being treated like celebrities with this targeted individual community. I'll give you an examples. Karen Stewart, Dr. Catherine Horton, Richard Lighthouse. They all swear up and down on the Bible that gang stalking is real and that it exists. And Dr. Horton actually said that she saw the gang stalking protocol, the physical gang stalking protocol that the intelligence agencies produced. That document doesn't exist if gang stalking, physical gang stalking, is perceived in your mind. There is no protocol for physical gang stalking if it's an illusion in your mind. So what she saw, she was lying. It was just straight lying. She swears up and down that the intelligence agencies are responsible. It's a clear sign that they're not. My guess is she probably works for one of them, and she's trying to point the finger at them because they're not responsible. There's too much liability that's involved with coming into somebody's house and ruining their life. The government would get sued for till the cows came home. All of this has got to be done through some sort of limited liability corporation, which would limit the damages to the amount of money that's in the actual checking account of the entity that's doing the harassment, not above and beyond that. There's just too much liability with coming into my house and turning it upside down for 18 years and holding me hostage for a government to handle. So all of this experimentation has got to be done through private entities, specifically limited liability corporations. So there is no intelligence protocol for gang stalking because that doesn't exist. Richard Lighthouse just got kicked out of targeted justice for swaying over to the dark side, is the way they said it. I've known for a while that he was promoting gang stalking, and I knew gang stalking was fake, so I knew he was fraud from the start. I think he wrote a paper. It was written on December 25th of this year, 2018, on gang stalking. I went, oh, Merry Christmas to me, because that doesn't exist. So he's a fraud. Karen Stewart also, same thing, swears up and down gang stalking exists. She's a fraud. Unless they're unwittingly passing along the wrong information, they're frauds. Unless it's a mistake, they're basically frauds, and they're put out there along with the websites to keep you confused or disinform, disinform. And then they have conference calls where they parade these idiots in, and they treat them like celebrities for talking about nothing. It's really very odd. So you have this peer pressure to treat them as if they're a celebrity when in fact they're peddling bullshit. And then you have the site itself that is designed full of conspiracies to scare you and to make you appear delusional and crazy. And then you have the fake websites, you have the peer pressure, and then on the conference calls, when I start talking about gang stalking and how it's perceived in their mind, trying to straighten out some of these people's issues on these conference calls, I get attacked. I get attacked by multiple directions. People are sitting there monitoring, and when the subject of the conference calls goes towards something that's useful to you, they will interrupt and attack the person that's trying to convey that message. So I've gotten to the point where I just sort of listen to the conference calls, because if I get involved, I'll get attacked, I'll get yelled at. I don't mind being accused of something. I just don't like to be attacked for trying to help people. It doesn't seem right. So it's about 8:24. I'm gonna try and get a little break here, see if I can get something going for the day, productive, because I just don't want to sit here all day listening to these idiots. So I wish you all the best of luck. Thanks for listening, and I hope you learned something, and I was able to tell you about something you hadn't heard and make it worth your while. So maybe it'll be the one thing that saves your life. That'd be nice to know. So Good luck to everyone. Thanks for listening.